Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Farm Simulator 25. And we're in Kinlaig, up in Scotland, of course, and we are on the PS5 today. And first off, thank you for your patience. I've had a couple of sick days there where I haven't really done much other than sleep more than anything, man. It's been crazy, some sort of bug going on. It ain't done with me just yet, but it's done enough that we can get some work done here. And like that, speaking of, we're just going to head up to the top field here. I want to get a little bit of, pardon me, fertilizing done, and the like, and the like. And then we shall carry on. So what are we up to today? Well, a few things actually. I want to put in a grain factory and whatnot, so that, you know, just a small one on my property type of thing, not the big industrial or whatever. But yeah, put in a grain factory on here, or a mill, I guess you'd call it. One of these there, man, a grain mill. That's what we're gonna call it. Sure. Yeah. Where to put the bloody thing? I think I will tuck it in just to the right here. For the now, anyway, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this will just facilitate access for me for my wheat, so I can turn that into flour, so I can send that off to the fish food factory. And yeah, so far, as far as I can tell, the fish food factory does not deliver to the fry tanks. You have to do it, excuse me, you have to do it manually. And like that. So, thinking on those terms, I've got some ideas. I'm not sure which way to jump just yet, but I got a plan formulating on how we can kind of do a workaround on that type of thing. But there we go, we got that in there. We should probably just smooth things out a wee little bit here, just so it's not all higgity-jiggy and cattywampus and like that, you know. Yeah, just get that ridge kind of in there a little bit, what have you. But yeah, thank you guys. I know it's been a couple of days since I've done anything and whatnot, so I do appreciate your patience. You know, not that I put out blockbuster type, you know, vids or anything, but still, there is a few of you that stick by me and drop in every day for a visit and, you know, see what I'm up to on the farm and whatnot. And that means the world to me. So, shout out to every single one of you. And thank you. Thank you and thank you. All right, well, now he's got that, so we'll get out of here. Pardon me. But also thinking about doing a rice paddy as well, because then we can get the rice over to the oil factory, and again we can send that off to the fish food factory and whatnot, because it'll do sunflower oil, it'll do rice oil, and it'll do canola oil. So I get those three rocking, and we should be pretty good as far as keeping up with the Joneses on, you know, keeping the factories running type of thing. To the best of my knowledge, the fish food factory is delivering to the offshore fish farms, as far as I can tell. Anyway, that is uh, distributing there automatically, and they're selling from there automatically. There we go. So that's no so bad. That's good and smooth. Yeah, we'll just set this up for, oh, pardon me, for what we want it to do here. And we're working with the, pardon me, we're working with wheat right now. That's the only thing we really got going in. So we'll get that all set up. And who knows, down the road, you know, we buy more fields, maybe we'll get some oats going and barley, stuff that we can get the, you know, make flour from and stuff, what have you. But for the now, you know, baby steps, right? Baby steps. Like that and like that. So, how have you guys been over the last little while? I hope this finds you well. I hope it finds you with love and balance in your life. And speaking of balance in my life, I'm just going to have a little sip of the old life support here. Oh, coffee, 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 coffee. I tried it with a little bit of hot chocolate in it today, hot chocolate powder. Nice change up, I like it. I don't know that I would drink it every day, but yeah, it's kind of a nice twist. Now, I just want to put a ramp in here because I notice when we're coming off the ways, we don't have a lot of room for moving around and turning around, and it's quite a drop off of the side here. So we're just going to put a ramp in and kind of smooth that out a little bit, make it a little more accessible for our purposes, right? So bear with here. We're just going to, first off, we're going to set the height of our ramp. And then what we'll do is we'll go down and we'll start where we want the ramp to start from, and it will automatically bring that terrain up to the level of the ramp that we set at the very beginning, right? So if you watch right here, now it'll pick up this and it'll, there we go. Now it's going to incorporate that, and here it's going to top out to where we were on the top of the ramp, right? So then we can just keep dragging around now. You know, we haven't taken our finger off the button, so it's still working from the 0 point. Oh, we've moved our road a little bit. I don't like that. That's not cool and groovy at all, man. Yeah, we got a bit of a divot there. There might be something underneath that. I don't know. I'm not sure if we can take that out. Okay, pretty good. Not so bad. Lots of room to turn. Oh yeah, that's much better. I'm liking that. Excuse me for a second, guys. Itchy ears. It's always the same when you try to talk to people, trying to get something done. As soon as both your hands are full, automatically itchy nose, right? It's just Murphy's Law. Okay, bear with. I just want to do a little smoothing out on that road there. We kind of changed it, and I want to put it back like it were. Kind of. Well, it won't never be like it were, but I could make it better than it is. The way we go, I suppose. Now I'm just going to blend that in there, kind of feather it out a bit, and that should take any obvious bumps and humps and like that out of there, right? There we are. And it's not too bad, so we'll just dress these edges up a little bit. There we go. Now go through there, and that'll just smooth that edge around so it's not quite as sharp a drop off. We'll see. I might do a little more in here, put in some rock work, you know, a retaining wall and stuff, and kind of make it look a little different than what it is, just more aesthetics than anything really. But we'll see. That's a down the road thing. We're not going to do that today. I'm kind of liking this little runabout. You know, it's kind of cool and groovy for getting around and what have you. Yeah, there you go. That's nice and smooth. Now, yeah, no noticeable wave. So cool beans on that. Alright, well let's get this put away, I'm supposing. It might be a good idea. But yeah, it's a handy dandy little thing. It's only got a tiny tipper bed on the back, but it's got a tipper bed on the back. So, you know, I can use it for topping off the sheep for their food and what have you, small amounts of or whatnot, transporting small things. You know, small loads and like that. Okay, and of course we are in need of fish food again, and this is getting old really quick. So I have, as I say, I think an idea, but I'm just going to speed this up a little bit because you've all seen me do this before, and like that and like that. Although I gotta say, I'm liking using the pallet forks better than I like using the forklift, you know, the actual forklift and whatnot. I seem to have a little less problems. The forklift, that one skid always seems to catch, the pallet always seems to catch on the fork. And it always seems to be that same one, the inside on the left-hand side. But I don't know, this seems to be working okay. We just drop off some food here. But yeah, this is getting tiresome driving all over the map and whatnot. This, you'd think if it distributes out to the fish pens on offshore, you'd think it would distribute to here as well. But oh well, mustn't grumble, eh? Mustn't grumble. Now let's just get that docked off of there so I can take my tractor home, my trailer home, and what have you. Bear with. I'm just going to give that a little nudge and put it into the trigger window. Okay, coming around here. There we is. Now we'll just give that a little nudge to the side leg. There we go. Now, can I pick you up and put you where you belong? He asks knowingly. There we go. Get them forks down. Okay. And we'll just shove you over there. There we go. That works, eh? Come on, a little more. There, that should do it. It's right in the center of the trigger window now, so it'll go when it's needed. It's not needed just yet, apparently. Okay, now let's just get hooked up here, and we will get this girl back onto the farm. And in the meantime, coffee. Yeah, my throat is still very dry and raspy still, but there you go. Feeling way better than I was the last couple of days. I'll sell you that free for nothing. Okay. And I've been thinking more on the castle too, and there's a windmill also I've discovered that we can build, and then once it's built we can use it, you know, for our grains and stuff, you know. So that's food for thought down the road. We'll see. Oh, directly behind us you will see a building. This is a small spinnery, so that I don't have to just keep selling my wool off. Now I can put it into this spinnery here, and we will send that off to the tailor shop in town, which I also purchased. Should have mentioned that earlier in the video, I'm guessing. I did a couple of things there. Well, last couple of days while I was sick, I kind of tootled around. Didn't do too much. I mean, you can see the date. We're into February here. You know, so we haven't done too gone crazy or nothing. It hasn't been like a year or anything, but I did do a little bit of stuff here and there, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, we got the tailor shop in town, and we got a small spinnery here on the property now. And that, like I say, that just kind of, I don't have to sell raw wool now. I can turn it into fabric, send that off, turn that into clothes, and sell that away. And you know, it's far more lucrative that way, right? But yeah, so now, speaking of, I don't want to play with fish food factories and driving all over town and like that, I think we're going to bite the bullet here, guys. I'm just going to bear with them. I'm going to try and level this out from here. This is already fairly level, or at least so it would seem, but you'd be surprised how unlevel things actually are. Because you look at this and you go, oh, that's a nice level field, but you'll see here in a minute how unlevel it is, you see. There we go. So now this is going to cost me some money, but in the long run, it's well worth it. If you take the time and set your area up before you start building, it saves on so many headaches, you know, down the road type of thing. Yeah, I'm on level. Okay, that would seem like it was digging pretty deep there, man. I was like, am I digging down or not? But no, that's just leveling it all out. Now these are large chunks right now, so it is gonna cost me uh, if you'll excuse the pun, a pretty penny. Uh, but necessary evils of, and again, total mixed ration to the rescue, because we'll sell that off. It's not the best time of year for it. We can get a better price a little later on in the year, but for our purposes and whatnot, it's all good. And You know, it's not like it's uber expensive for me to make more. It's a case of just putting the grass in, turning the grass to silage, and turning the grass into hay as well. And we just mixing them together and making the TMR. So very little overhead in it, and well, you've seen how lucrative it is to sell, right? There we go. Just take this island out of here and look at the money we are freaking hemorrhaging. Okay, doodles, gosh, by golly darn heck, gee whiz, and other such profanities. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we just got to touch her up on the ends a bit and kind of level out the middle. Just get her to, where it's basically all nice and level here. And the idea that I want to execute is I am going to put in a fish food factory up here so that it's on the property and I don't have to drive halfway across the map to go to it, especially in town. That is just a freaking pain getting in and out of there. I mean, it's quaint, and it's pretty, and it's cool, and I like it, and it's aesthetically pleasing, but it's a bugger to drive through with a load, right? You know. So we're going to put a fish food factory in here. And with that, I am going to put in a fry tanks up here as well because we cannot auto feed them. I have to manually take the fish food to them. So I'm going to put it by the fish food factory. So as the factory produces the fish food, I can then take the fish food over to said fry tanks and all right here, ready made to go and like that. And I will also set this fish food factory, I have to set to store. The other fish food factory I can keep on um, distribute. Sorry, I'm having a hard time holding the thought in a bucket here. And that will continue to distribute out to the offshore tanks, right? The pens out there. The reason I got to keep both of them is when I go into the fish food factory, if I want to store one but distribute the other, it won't let me do it. It either has to be store all or distribute all or sell all, but it won't let me do, so much for here and so much for there type of thing. So that's something we got to work out in the future. Do I want to keep the offshore pens or do I want to kind of keep it down? Because there is another fishery that we haven't dealt with yet. And we can do it right here in this field. And it's the actual fish ponds, trout ponds, if you will, and whatnot. We can put in a couple of three of those. They're kind of a rectangular ponds and whatnot. You'll see what I mean here soon enough. And also, what I would like to do right there, kind of sort of in front, is I want to put in a rice paddy up here as well. So we can get the fish food factory, the fry tanks, and the trout ponds, and a rice paddy all in this one field, all relevant to making us money down the road rather than just having this field as grass. Because I can put grass anywhere, but I'm hard pressed in Scotland to find a bit of ground as level as this. Don't you know? Don't you know? Okay, so selling off some of the TR mix, we'll bring her down here to the Annie Mile D-Lore and see what we gets here. Not much. Not the best time of year for selling, Now we'll get it home. I think we're going to get less here than we actually get at the... it's compatible, comparable, whatever. Anyway, bear with. We're going to wash, rinse, and repeat this a few times here. Roundabout, and all that happy stuff. Oh, look out, Moose. There we go. I had a good one with a bus and a sports car yesterday, day before or whatever. I don't know. It was coming out of the animal dealer here. Ended up, I got hit by a car which stopped everything, and then just as I'm about to back up, the bus comes along and T-bones me. And I'm thinking, like, I It's like, come on, you know enough to work and go around each other. You know enough to go around obstacles and take corners and follow the map, but you know, you don't recognize me as a vehicle or an obstacle. It's weird. But there you go. Okay, so we can do our sunflowers now. It's far enough in. We've advanced through, say we're into March now and what have you. And also I can plant my cotton, which in turn will go to my spinnery and the tailor shop and again make us more money and what have you. So cool beans on that. So, want to spend some money? Here we frickin' go. You know? My gosh. All right, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee here. Bear with, guys, please. There it is. Whoops, kind of missed my mouth there. Just bear with. There we go. Supposed to drink it, not wear it, apparently. And like that, and like that, and like that. Oh boy. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna sit up in my bed here, sliding down again. I love my day bed. It's very comfortable, but it's because I've used it for so long where my bum is in the springs. It's got a nice little hollow in there from years of me laying on it. So it always wants my body to kind of go down into the recess and whatnot. And it's great for sleeping, but that's not so conducive for me doing my workout here. So, okay, so we can come around the back of that. Lots of room to drive around there. Now what we want to do is find us the fry tank. There you is. And you can see in the bottom there left the $12,000 rectangle. Those are the trout tanks that I was talking to you about. So we're going to put in a couple of three of them. We'll just see how things fit here. I'm just kind of tuck things where I can, keeping in mind that I need to leave room for a rice paddy as well as everything else. So now, what way do we want? Do we want it to go this way, north, south, or east, west? I think maybe east, west, and that will allow me to put in, let's see, I can get two, maybe three of them between the fry tank and the back wall there. And that'll leave that complete other half of that field for me to turn into a rice paddy. So yeah, that I think that'll be all right. Let's just see what we are doing of and like that. So yeah, I think this will work here. And now with these trout ponds and whatnot, I can sell directly straight from there. Or I could have it store and we could gather the totes and take them down to, I presume, the fish market, but that means driving into town. We might do that a couple of times just for the nuance of actually doing it, and like that. But as I say, I can pay a fee and they'll come out here, pick them up for me, take them to town for me, sell them for me and whatnot. And then I just lose a percentage off the overhead, right? So, okay. So yeah, I think we're going to be all right with that. And that one here. Whew, pardon me. Sorry, guys. So that'll give us 3 trout ponds. I'm sure that we'll make a little bit of money off of that. Now, I'm not sure what the recipes are in here. I'm presuming it's normal fish food, and we've got the factory right here for that as well. So you can see where I'm going with this. It's all nice right here to hand, Now, I just want to lay down some grass so that I get a good visual of where I want to put my rice paddy or field or whatever you want to call that. Now, just bear with here. We'll try and make this fairly square or rectangular, I suppose would be more to the point. Okay. That's pretty good. I guess it is more square than rectangle, eh? What do you like better, Bert? Circles or squares? Well, I don't know, Ernie. Rectangles are pretty cool. Okay. I think that will do. And that will give me a good frame with within which to work here now. Where are we? There we are, the rice field. I keep saying paddy, it's a field. Or at least that's how they have it labeled, so there you go. So one in here. Now keeping in mind this first line that I drew there, that is the one that is going to have the tap on it. That's the one where your tap's going to be for flooding the field. The very first line you make between the first and the second corner, that is where the tap will be. You'll see what I mean here in a second once I finish this off. Like that. There we go. And click. No, I said click, man. I said click. Now you see where the tap is, halfway up there, right? So that first line when you're putting in a rice paddy, that's something to keep in mind. You know, forewarned is forearmed and all that happy stuff. Okay, so we got the rice field in. We can plant, I think, next month. I believe we can plant rice in April, I think. But in the meantime, we'll get that going there, flooding. Now this is looking a little sterile for my liking, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and we're going to do some decorating around here. Throw in some shrubberies. And we got to have a few frogs. I mean, it just wouldn't be me if we didn't have just a few frogs in here. I don't think I'm going to put them on each one. That looks a little kind of, you know, well, man-made, if you will. Not that these don't look man-made. We'll just leave it there for now. We want some frogs. We don't necessarily need, you know, 300 of them beating on a drum, as it were. Okay, now we'll tidy this up with a bit of grass in through here. And then we'll put in some shrubberies. I just want to get a good grass base below it, and then we'll put the shrubs in. And I think we'll add in a few trees as well. Now these shrubs here, these bushes, these are new to me. They are with the Highland Map DLC here. But looking at them, it looks like they flower. If you look on the left-hand side there. So we'll see. We'll put them in now. You know, it's easy enough to change down the road. If I don't like it, we can take them out too easy, right? So we'll just keep going on this here. That's coming along a little bit, eh? Yeah, let's throw in a couple of trees. Get a hickory and yeah, a few of these here. There we go. We'll just tuck a couple around the fish ponds. Nice, give us some shade. Just making aesthetically pleasing here. Okay, wow. I like that. Fish all got a little bit of shade to get away from the direct sun in the summertime and what have you. We got our field in. We got our rice field is in. We got our fry tanks in. So, yeah, no so bad. But I think, guys, I'm going to call this one here now. And where are we? We're March, yeah, so there's not much. We can do cotton and sunflowers. We're going to have to wait on wheat, and canola is going to be a bit yet. So, yeah, there we go. I'm just got my cotton going here while we're talking and all. But I'm going to call this one here, guys. So, in the meantime and in between time, brightest blessings, yeah? Love and light, my friends. Love and light. Now, you know what to do, eh? Yeah. Are you done here? Go tell somebody that you love them, eh? 3 little words, man. And it's free. You're going to feel good for saying it. They're going to feel great for hearing it. And if enough of us do it often enough, well, we could change the world. Okay. Go be the rock stars you already are, and I will see you in the funny papers. Be good to each other.